What's going on, JJ here? I want to talk a little bit about some more scripting, and there's a game type that Mediocre had requested I make some weeks back called Tag Team. What it is, well, Mediocre, he's a member of Drunken Halo, which is the also the same Spartan company that I'm a member of. You find that on Waypoint if you're looking for a Spartan company. Check it out. Mostly mature, well, legal adults, I'll say. We claim to be mature, but it's quite clear when you get to know most of us, we're not very mature at all. Still, great group of guys. They got a podcast they do, Drunken Halo, Travis and Justin. They do really nice, really fun. Anyway, Mediocre had asked me to make this. He thought it would be cool, so I made it. It's called Tag Team. Basically, it's 2v2, red versus blue. One guy from each team spawns inside of a cell. Shields only regenerate at 10%. If the guy in the player arena's shields get low, you find a tag switch and tag out with your partner. Gives you time to regenerate while you're in the cell. If you die, you respawn and tag your partner in, and then you're in the cage until your partner decides to tag out or he dies. So it's really fun. And a bunch of my friends and some other people in the community have asked me, how can I make it? Is it easy? Is it hard? It's really not all that difficult. I didn't use any script brains due to there's some problems with how they react and how they're continuously checking for data as far as players entering, exiting. So it was really kind of a pain in the ass. So what I ended up doing was using just basic teleporters to do it, and it works. It worked out good. And so I made a template. I made some prefabs, and I'm going to spawn those in right now. Now this map hasn't been done. This is Epitaph from Halo 3. This hasn't been done yet. I got Guardian. I did a Guardian tag. There's a altitude tag and a couple others out there on my file share. If you're interested, take a look at them. So if you look in prefabs and put in my gamer tag, JJJUICEBOX, you will find a whole plethora of prefabs. There's two different ones. The first one, these are basics. This is one I used on Narrows. It's just a basic cell. It has no scripts, no nothing attached to it. But if you look at the template, there's a red cell template and a blue cell template. If you spawn that in, whoop, not enough room. Let me try that again. Okay. This is everything you need for the red side tag team. What I would do, because you're going to have to ungroup all of this stuff, is I would place it where you want your cell. Place the cell, because obviously there's a whole lot of pieces to it, and if you ungroup it, you'd have to regroup everything together, and it'd be a royal pain in the ass. So just for purposes of this, I'm just going to leave it right outside. Let's see, let's find a good spot where you'll be able to see in. The idea is that the guy in the cell can see the other player, right? He wants to be able to see his partner, see the opposing team guy, so he can kind of help his partner, call him out when he sees him, where he sees him, that kind of thing. So I'm going to say maybe right here looks like it'd be a good spot. Yeah, you got a good view going straight down there. He's got a good view. And then if we put the blue one directly on the other side, then he can also see blue and see when they teleport out. So I'm just going to move this cell in. Don't worry about these floor pieces, this floor that this stuff is on. Don't worry about that. It's you're going to delete that. So now that we have it placed, let's go ahead and ungroup everything. Unweld, ungroup. Okay, so inside you see there's an invisible teleporter, there's an invisible receiver. There is a switch up top. The only thing you have to add to this map are spawn points and respawn points. So we got the red placed. I'm just going to leave it there for now. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the blue, get them in place where I want them a while. Let's get that in here. You come over this way. It's not perfect, but it shows you what I'm trying to achieve. Just grab it and pull it in. Center it up a little bit more, about like that, I'd say. That looks good. Okay, so we got to go in the map first, and we have to delete all spawn points. They're going to interfere with what we're trying to do, so we're going to select all of, delete, respawn points, select all of, delete, and then just kind of fly around quick and make sure we got everything. Alright, looks good. Looks good, okay. Alright, so we have to, first things first, let's get our spawn points down. We'll go ahead and place an initial spawn point. Set it for red team. Change the physics to phased. I just changed it to phased real quick so I can get it in. Side the cage. Oh, I got a little bit of a cold today. Okay. Whoops. So now that we have our spawn point inside, we'll go ahead and put a respawn point upstairs on the second level. Respawn. Red team. So what I always do, just to make it easier, is I'll put it directly across from this teleporter. Because you're going to put a kill barrier in here. You're going to put a soft kill barrier, which I did not put in the prefab, and I should probably go back and change that. So what happens is when the guy dies and respawns, the other guy's still in the bottom of the cage. He'll spawn here. He's got to run over and hit this switch, and that'll teleport the guy down below out, and he will then, seconds later, the floor will disappear, he'll drop down, and then the floor reappears waiting for the next guy. So I always put a soft kill barrier up in the top part. That way he's forced to tag out, and he's not, you know, they're not just sitting there waiting. Now we need to put an initial red spawn in the arena, which I'm not gonna strategically place anything. I'm just gonna throw it down so you get the idea. And you know, you can set your spawns, and the spawn points initial aren't really important. What's important are the teleporters. The teleporters are important. These receivers right here, and you can add more receivers. You can add more receivers. You can add more switches. You know, this is just a basic prefab I made so that when I'm making these maps, it makes life a lot easier for me. So these are all reds, and they're already scripted. Everything's already done. All you have to do is place them. So everything you need for tag team, everything you need for tag team is in the prefab, with the exception of initial spawn, respawn, and barriers, which you will have to put in. You can do it on any map. You can do it as many teams as you want. Just spawn in another red or another blue and go through and change all the attributes to a different team. And you will have to, unfortunately, you'll have to change the channels on the teleporters. Which, if you know how you know basically how teleporters and such work, it's not that hard. Okay, so I'm just going to put 2 in and delete the rest just to give you the idea. Now with these tag switches, these are the tag switches that the guys will use, the players will use. You'll want to highlight the light, the teleporter, and the switch, create group. Don't create a welded group, okay? Don't do that, because what will happen is when you go to save it, sometimes it'll just disappear. Everything is phased by default when you get it, so you can always change the properties of it. And where the hell did it go? I lost it, so I deleted it. So, you know, you want to place them around, and they're colored, so Red team cannot use blue. Blue team cannot use red. It's not going to accidentally or incidentally teleport anybody. Put them wherever the hell you want. Just sporadically place them. You want it to try. I always try to make it somewhat symmetrical, just so you don't want it to be unfair. Okay, something like that. Maybe, and then maybe a blue one on the other side, and something vice versa, whatever. And then ungroup this when you're done. That way where shirt saves and nothing disappears. And you can't. It's kind of hard to see it here, but they have a light on each one. So if you're in a darker map or something, or it's in a dark corner, it'll be illuminated with the color as well. And then that's it, really. Oh, the kill barrier, which is fairly simple. I think you all, if you're watching this video, you probably know what you're supposed to do, how they work, but let's just do it anyway. You need a soft kill barrier. There's also no, well, this is outside of the map, so it's neither here nor there. There's not really an opportunity for anybody in the cell to shoot out or throw grenades out. There's not really an opportunity. Maybe if he's right here, but I highly doubt that'll happen. So depending on where you have your cells, you may want to put barriers, projectile barriers, around it and above it, so nobody can throw grenades out, and kind of, or you can leave it. Hell, who cares? So we're gonna put a time kill volume in, and you just want it to cover the top part. You don't want it. You definitely do not want it to go down into the bottom. So but you want it to fill the top. Let's see, object properties. And it can be a little big. It's not a big deal. Nobody's out here. Nobody's around. Just do it how you feel it should be. And mess around with it. Who cares? This is a really fun game to play. We're looking at doing a tournament within our Spartan company using this game type in the next couple months. So that's definitely, I think that's going to be cool, and I'm excited. Use something, a game type that I created is going to be in a tournament with Drunken Halo, which I think is great. So we got the anti-kill volume. So the guy spawns in here. He's only got one option: you either go over, hit it, say it'll disappear, and then he drops down. Now he's in a safe zone. You won't be able to see that in real gameplay. You can only see that in Forge. Of course, I spawned way out here because there's no blue spawns yet, but you get the idea. You get the idea, and actually, I think I am going to make one here on Epitaph. This looks like it'd be a great map for 1v1, or even maybe I'll do a 4v4 tag team, or set it up for 4 teams if 4 teams want to play, or 3 teams, whatever. So anyway, and then one other thing: after you put all your switches and teleporters out, go ahead and delete this floor piece. You won't need it. So now, and as you can see, because I used that teleporter, now all these have been activated and they despawned as they should. So if you need to get your teleporters back or some of the things that despawn, go, and you may or may not know this, if you go into map options, you can go reset map state and it'll bring them all back. So that's it. There's your cell. You got your teleporters. You got your spawn point. You got your respawn point in here. Your kill zone. You may want to. This is a pretty high cell. I don't think you can get up and out of it. I've seen a lot of guys try and fail, but that's it. It's pretty basic. And if you guys want, you can spawn in the glass cell and just use the objects from it, place them in there. Or if you make a cell and you want to have it prefabbed, you want me to prefab it with all the scripts and everything, and the teleporters and switches and all the latest and greatest, let me know. Shoot me a message on Xbox or here, right here. Doesn't matter. Let me know. I would be glad to help if you got any questions, or if you see something I could have done better. Hell, let me know. I'm not the best, but I try and we have fun. So anything else, like, subscribe if you want. Head over and check out on Waypoint Drunken Halo, if you're looking for a good Spartan company, man, it's great. And we'll see you next time.